All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to inform y'all to look for the Gummy Rapper stories on November 13th because I just found out that there's actually another video. Let me see. No, wait.
I'm Ryan
Look at
McCaffrey
this.
with
This guy.
IGN, joined by Miranda Sanchez. Miranda, you and I got the unique opportunity to go up to a mostly empty 343 Industries for our IGN first month of coverage on Halo Infinite. We've got multiplayer
We
stuff,
got
but
new
yes,
footage
we did
again, dude.
also play the campaign. You've got a very long preview on IGN and also a video version of that preview on IGN
Yo,
and
I
on
wonder if this banished
IGN's
merch, dude.
YouTube channel, which everybody should go check out. But I thought since you and I both played and we had slightly different experiences and approached it differently, I thought we should talk here. So I want to go to you first and just get your overall sentiment of that experience, because I think you and I both came into this kind of, for lack of a better word, nervous about how this Halo campaign was going to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think coming off of Halo 5, I had fun with Halo 5 because I also play a very different way. Of course, for me, I am working on a lot of game guides, and for Halo, like that's a big moment for me to get in, dig deep, to find all those skulls, find every collectible. And so, like in that and finding secrets and things, I did have a lot of fun, though I did feel a little let down by a large part of the story. And
Yeah, it does
so,
feel like a
coming into
nursery rhyme
Halo
after
Infinite,
MCC.
like we knew that's what it really needed to deliver, right? Like it
By the
had
way, by the way,
coming
I
into
just realized. You see that logo on the top left corner?
Halo
Unfortunately, the fucking Halo
on
Infinite
my
discussion thing is blocking it.
and
If
finding
I would
secrets and
love that
things.
to
I
be the
did have
new
a lot of
Xbox
fun, though
logo
I did
because it
feel a
looks,
little
yeah,
let down
that. You see on
by
the top left?
a large part of the
I would
story.
love for that to be the
And
new
so
Xbox
coming into
logo because I just
Halo
like how it really
Infinite,
reminds me of
like
the
we knew that's what
original.
it really needed to deliver, right? Like it had to deliver that Halo experience that says, yes, we have Halo now, we're 343, and we want to develop a story with Master Chief that makes sense for us and that also takes Halo into the future. Because, like this franchise is storied, but it has to grow. And so when I sat down at 343, that's what I was looking for. I was like, okay, is this gonna hit me? Like, can I get punched
Yo,
in the
like she
face with
just,
emotions? Because that's kind of what I want, right? Like, you're
bro,
getting this huge moment where like
how is
Chief
this
and
gonna
Cortana
end,
have
bro?
effectively broken up. Like Halo
I
5
like
is
how
her
he,
still like Chief still chasing after her, trying to get things stacked together. And then with Infinite, it's basically saying like this is done. Like Cortana has to be gone, and that has to mean something, right? Like Master Chief doesn't have relationships with people. Like he kind of does, but not really. And so Cortana being his closest companion and that separation between them has to be impactful. And so that was
you had to
something I
do
was looking
some
for. Because
Disney
of course,
miracle
we
shit.
both played the multiplayer test fights. We're not surprised at how well this plays. Like that's a given. So
I really wonder
that's where
how
I
this
sat
story is
down
gonna
with all of
unravel.
that.
Yeah,
If
and
it
for
is going to
me,
unravel, because they did say
I'm less
campaigns.
kind about it than you just were. I, as a forever Halo fan, I Halo hated the campaign. I won't say it was a bad campaign in Halo 5. Sorry, in Halo
I
5.
do like the way he
Uh,
said that.
5 was a disaster as far as I was concerned in the story department with the campaign. Mechanics were all there. The mechanics were great,
So much
but the
fun.
story was awful.
Nursery
Blue
rhyme.
team was given no depth. The Locke versus Chief confrontation that the marketing campaign did such an amazing job of building up just
You
fell
couldn't let it,
flat.
yeah,
It
because it
was
didn't.
it effectively, of course, was they finally meet up and Chief's just like, oh yeah, I'm not bad like you think I am, and Locke's like, okay, cool, let's go, and
Yeah,
that
like
was
what the
that.
hell?
So I came into this wondering, could 343 finally put together a great single player and a great multiplayer,
Oh no,
because they'd
they
shown
will.
us a great campaign in 4 and they'd shown us great multiplayer in 5, but could they put their stamp on this, which you alluded to, and make
I'm
it
sure they can,
their own
bro.
and make it amazing and
The
bring Halo
multiplayer is
back
a
to
lot of
being
fun
a
already. I
top
just wish it had
shelf
more modes going
franchise
on.
in gaming? And I'll tell you, Miranda, by the end of the 4 hours that we played, which was the first 4 hours of the game, I felt like they're very much on that track. We don't know where the story's going, but the stuff that they're setting up and the some of the emotional weight that you talked about, we got a little bit of a sense of that early on, and it was there. It was there for me, and I could not be happier to have come out of that visit to 343 more excited about the campaign than I went into it.
Yes, absolutely. So I think just to establish that we did approach this with like a fair bit of skepticism, and I know we went out for a walk after. We're like,
Yeah.
Okay, but what did you think?
Because I
So
didn't know. Like when
yeah,
I played it, I liked it. I was like, I wonder if she like, am I crazy thinking this is really good? Like, did 5 break me? And am I like, do I have I lost
People
my
shit on
sense
5
of
too
this?
a little
So
too
yeah,
much now. I don't
when
know. I
we
feel like
reconvened like
people
hours
acted like it was
later at the
Bubsy
end of the
too or some
day
shit.
and just were doing laps around the hotel, I was so thrilled to hear that you also loved it.
yeah. So just to talk a little bit about
I just
our
realized.
approach.
Hold
You
on.
also loved it. Doing
This is
laps
like a campaign thing, but it looks like Master Chief is not getting
around the
descoped.
hotel,
That could be an upgrade
I was
thing.
so thrilled to hear that you also loved it.
Yeah. So just to talk a little bit about our approach to this, because I know you and I both play games very different ways, and I like this because we got to do this with Cyberpunk as well. Like for me, I was very much more about the exploration, right? So since Halo Infinite takes sort of an open world approach, they're like, no, they're just large sandboxes. That's not really open world. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm still calling it mostly open world. Because there is just
Open
so
world or
much to
not, this shit's gonna be
explore and
fucking
to
fun
like
as
run
shit, dude.
around and see. So that was really my approach. It was that, and also playing on heroic. For
Yeah.
me, I'm the solo legendary person. I'm like, no man, I gotta play this by myself. I'm gonna gun it, and I'm gonna do my very best. That's something we always try to do for the guides as well, is try to have like legendary tips. But so I really wanted to bump it up and find those secrets and see how much I could dig into when we first got in. And heroic is not messing around. I mentioned this in my preview about how the first boss fight like just kicked my ass. Like I was
Oh, she did.
genuinely
So does
shocked
her.
because at that point I was like, I've got this. Like it's totally fine. And it's just full on aggression, and I really appreciate that from the boss fights because they're still enemies. They're still using weapons that are familiar. They're not getting some like crazy weapon you can only pick up
Right.
this once. They might have a modification, but they're not going to be so different that it's something that you'll never get to see or kind of use in a similar vein,
Ah.
right? Um, so to make those feel distinct was, I think, important to me, knowing that there were going to be boss fights because it has to be something other than a guy with a name and a bigger health bar and more shields, right? You want something special, and it definitely felt that when you come into
Yo.
it.
Yeah, and for me, I like to play more on the
Dude, the lighting and
story
everything.
focused, but I'll kind of wander where my heart leads me. And so, when you first come out into the Halo ring, the first thing that you're kind of guided towards is, hey, there's a just ahead here, down a little hill. There is a FOB, a forward operating base that the Banished, it's a UNSC base that the Banished have overrun and control. We need you to, go take it back. So just wipe out all the Banished that are in there, and then when you reclaim it, you talk about the Valor points and that whole system. But you can then from the FOB call in vehicles to get around the ring on. And so I'm looking around going, okay, well, there's a bunch of Banished down there. How do I want to do this? Do I want to just run in, guns blazing? I love using the grapple hook not only to get around, like hooking onto
Oh god, I'm gonna
trees
play
and
Genshin
and
Impact
zipping
and this
around,
game,
but
bro. They're both
also
like open as shit.
like
Oh, whatever, dude.
hooking it into the back of an
It's
enemy and just coming in and meleeing
whoa.
them to either finish them off or just drop their shields or damage them a lot. But I thought, I looked to my right and I saw this huge column, this huge spire. There's all this under construction Zeta Halo ring, and I just thought, okay, I grapple shotted up there, climbed all the way up, because I happened to have a battle rifle. I had a scoped weapon, and I'm like looking around and seeing, oh, okay, well, there's a couple of explosive barrels, which, by the way, you can also grapple shot and grab and throw at people, throw
I
at
love
bad
that
guys.
there's different ways you can approach this.
And I
Oh
thought,
no shit,
okay,
I think you can do
so
it with
and
Halo in
I
general.
just studied their motion, their movements for a minute, and then I just started picking people off and shooting the barrels, and I just took them all out from up top, just not a scratch on my Mjolnir armor, and then walked in and reclaimed the base.
Not a
And I
scratch
just
on my
love
Mjolnir
that
armor.
the sandbox allowed me to do that. I could have just run in. I could have, you know, kind of hit and run and shot and ran away and come back from a different angle. But so that to me got things off to a good start.
That's so
Like, how
cool.
did you take out? There was kind of a big banished base that I don't remember the exact name of that scenario, but you know what I'm talking about. That where you've got to take out the fuel tanks to basically wipe out
Yes.
the space. It's a really big space actually. Like, how did you do that?
So I brought in Marines, and I found a few different paths and entryways to that base. But at that point, I just like loaded up a car full of Marines, like, all right, y'all, we're going on an adventure. And so we all went out. Everyone was gung ho. They got picked off kind of quick. But there are also other Marines in there you can free. So in order to kind of keep my troops standing longer, I ended up trying to clear
What
out the
the?
biggest guys first, and then I let them free to help me
Yo, that
clear
guy.
things out. I also had a rocket launcher.
Rocket
I forget where I
launcher.
got that, but there's just so many different like little caves of good weapons. Excuse me, not good. Excellent. They are special.
Our weapons.
And they are so good. Yes, they're power weapons more often than not. And so you'll find variations that you can find in these caves. And so I just took that with me into that first area you go in and fight. And it was just so cool getting to use these weapons just to like clear an area so fast just because I was being rewarded for having gone and found something neat. So I think that's what I liked about approaching that, because I think generally it's very open, so you can get into that first facility where you have to destroy those pillars pretty quickly in different ways. So
I just got those tanks exploded as quickly as I can because I wanted the Scorpion tank that was hiding
yeah.
in the
Oh,
building
I like it.
that had to block. And then I didn't want to get out of the Scorpion, which if we'd had more time, I would have seen if I could wiggle it out of the base, like actually get it out of the base and just slowly roam around the ring as an unstoppable force. But I guess the last
You
thing
could have
I
gotten
want to
hijacked or
talk about
something.
and just ask you here to close out is, so this open ring structure that's new to Halo, after 4 hours, is that working for you, Miranda, as a Halo fan? Is it good? Is that structure good, or would you prefer the linear traditional Halo approach?
I like the structure because it blends both, right? Because it blends that traditional, hey, here's where you can go, just follow that very structured linear level, but that has like bigger sandboxes throughout it, so you can then take on bigger challenges in different ways. But the open world mechanic, or I guess the open sandbox mechanic of it, or design of it, really lets you use your time the ways you want, and it did, as I try to emphasize in my preview, feel very optional. So you don't have to go clear out these extra bases. You only get more equipment and more cool things to do. So it's like eventually if you want to summon a scorpion, you can, but you have to have like, I think like the certain amount of the map reclaimed in order to take that back and to actually get those summons. Or it's kind of weird calling them summons because it's not quite that. It's like Argosition, right? You're calling it in, you're asking for this to come, but you need the forces to be there to do it. So I think it really worked well and made sense with like Chief's journey, and that was something that was really important to me. It's like if you're gonna open things up, like I said in my preview, you can't send Chief on a fetch quest. That's dumb. Like why would you ever do that? He's not gonna do like weird puzzles and like
Right.
other things. People are like, hey, can you go find these things for me?
Like,
Can
no.
you go place it? No.
No,
You
you're talking
go
about the
find
open
them for
world
me.
stuff.
That's how it works for Master Chief.
Exactly. And so that was something I was happy to see, was that it all felt very natural, and like I can take things at my own pace or just not do it all together. And if anything, it's just another fun combat challenge.
Yep, I'm with you. It's not an open world game to me in the sort of checklist Far Cry way. Not that that's necessarily bad. It's just not that way. It's more. It reminded me of the structure of the Batman Arkham games, where you kind of have these regions, these districts, these neighborhoods, and you're going kind of area by area and doing stuff within those, and eventually kind of unlocking.
Oh,
And it totally worked for me. I didn't feel like it's a checklist game, which I'm really sick of in other open world games. It still felt like I was doing cool stuff, heroic stuff, without just being bogged down by mindless, menial, fetch kind of tasks. So I can't wait to play more. Everybody should go read and or watch Miranda's preview on IGN. And stay tuned. We're going to have an unboxing of the Halo Special Edition Series X console coming up. We're going to have an IGN Unfiltered hour-long conversation with Joseph Staten, who, of course, is the head of creative on Infinite. He's come in over the past year, but we know he goes
they're
all the way
going
back
big,
to
bro.
the beginning of Halo with Bungie from his time there. So there's a lot more IGN First coverage to come. So stay tuned all month long.
That's so cool, bro. All right, folks.